Welcome, game makers. This is part 2 of the 10-part series where we're going to go through the Infinite Jumper ebook that we released back in April for Bunny Day. If you haven't gotten the book already, please do. It's absolutely free. You can get that book by going to blog.ourcade.co. It's going to be on the homepage. All you need to do is submit your email address and we'll email you the ebook. If you want to learn more about it, we also have a dedicated page that'll tell you all about the content that you should expect to find in there, as well as the things that you're going to learn, which is a lot. We also have an EPUB version of the book if you're interested in that. But they're a great way to go from zero to a full-fledged Infinite Jumper game. And this 10-part series will go through the book chapter by chapter, line by line, so you don't have to do this alone. Especially if you're a beginner like I am, you're probably going to want the help. So let's dive in here. Last time we completed the Getting Started chapter where we basically just set up the development server. We got the live server installed into VS Code. If you don't have VS Code, it's a great application. We also set up some of our main core files, and we also tested everything out to make sure that it was showing. Now, in this chapter, we're going to be setting up the game. And that's going to include getting some of the assets. As you can see here, it's from Kenny. Kenny is a game design artist, and he's got a lot of files. So let's actually pop up in his site here. The one that we're going to be downloading is called the Jumper Pack. Kenny makes a ton of assets. Some of these are paid, and some of these are free. The one that we're using is free. Type in Jumper to the search, and this one right here. It's got platform. It's got bunnies, of course. It's got coins. It's got all these things, which is really cool. Of course, he does a lot of this for the community, so please donate if you like his work. Now, I've already downloaded it ahead of time just to make it easier. So the ones that we're going to want after you unzip the file are the background, environment, items, and player. So what you want to do, first step, is you want to create an assets folder. So that's going to be at the base of the project, same level as source. So let's go in here, new folder called assets. And then within assets, we're going to dump all of these files. So background, BG layer 1. So let's go ahead and copy that. And then within here, paste it. And then we're going to go to environment, ground, grass, Control C, Control V, copy paste, items, to the carrot. Okay, and then bunny stand and bunny jump for the player. And that's number 1. Jump and stand, copy and paste. All right, so we got 5 assets in our assets folder. If you go back to Visual Studio, you'll be able to see it in the assets folder. I'm going to load up one of these and see how it looks. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Little carrot. So got all of that set up, which is great. Now we're going to creating a phaser game. All right, so main.js file, we're going to import phaser, which we already did. So we have that. We're going to change this console directory phaser though. We are going to do export default new phaser dot game. Okay, and then it's type phaser dot auto. See that autocomplete? Isn't that helpful? And then width is 480 and height is 640. Okay, so that's pretty standard. Save that. So type property set to phaser auto means that phaser will decide to use canvas or WebGL. Well, that's good. Saves us some of that brain power, right? So now that this is running, we should see a black box. So let's just really test that. So if you remember, we had installed live server. So let's go ahead and open that up. Command-Shift-P, live server. We're going to do open with live server, and there is shortcuts. You want to use that Command L and then Command O. So while it's opening up, Start the server at port 5500. It's going to load this guy. We're supposed to see a black box, but we're not. Why are we not? That is a really good question. Did I save this? Just make sure I saved it. Oh no. All right, let's open up the developer tools and see what's going on. Should be a black box. Wait, could not fail to load resource. Server responded with status 404 not found. Source lib phaser. Source lib. Oh. .js. Fun. Look at that. Okay, now it works. Make sure you put in your file extensions there. Very important. Okay, so that works. Next thing is creating a game scene. So scenes are a way to group related logic and game objects. A lot hard to explain. So might as well start using it. Create a game scene. We're going to create a new folder called scenes under the source folder. So source folder, new folder, scenes. And then in there, we're going to create a capital G game.js file. So right click, new file, capital G, ame.js. So now we have that file in there. Detour into classes is important. Classes is a really nice way for us to not have to repeat ourselves too much, and it's super clean code. We can reuse the code that we've written. But it's a really nice way of organizing, code into buckets. It's like categorizing in a sense, right? Like you have I don't know, like when you went to school and you had like different subjects, I guess you put different things in certain folders, whatever. You get what I mean. Moving along, game.js, we're going to add this code in here. So import, just like we did before, a phaser from. Now, instead of the single dot from before, we're going to do 2 dots because you got to go up a level. So that is lib/phaser, and don't forget the JS like we did last time. Then we're going to do export default class extends game. Wait, no, hold up. Game extends. What am I doing? Phaser dot scene. All right, I'm gonna open that up. I'm gonna do constructor. Okay, super game. Right, and then we're also going to do preload. Leave that empty for now, and then create. Same thing, leave that empty. Does that look about right? Yes, it does. Okay, so every scene has a unique key, and we do that on line 7 in the constructor by calling super and then game. Okay, so that makes sense. We're calling a game. The file is called game. We should probably keep that the same. Preload and create methods, hooks. So preload, as it sounds, you're preloading things. So that's good for preloading assets such as images, audio files, anything like that. And then create is actually after everything's loaded, what are you throwing out there? What do you need to prepare? So now I'm gonna hook it all up. Starting the game scene, basic game scene, but phases nobody yet. So I've got to go back into main.js. Then we're gonna add a new line over here. Their scene is game, but they don't know what game means yet because we got to import it. Game from dot scenes / game.js. Don't forget that .js. So we save that. Okay, so we save it. There should be no visible changes. Let's make sure we didn't print it. It should be a black box. Beautiful. Preload the background. Okay, so this is the BG layer 1. Sorry about that. This mic, it just keeps turning off So you might have me cut out randomly, and I got to turn on my mic again. But so preload, we're going to preload the BG layer 1 file that we got from Kenny, good old Kenny, and we're going to go over to the game.js to the preload. We're going to do this dot load dot image, and then we're going to call it background as the key, and then we're going to find this in assets slash bg layer 1.png. Right, so that looks pretty good. Actually, let's make this easier to read. With the appearance, I want to word wrap. There we go. Okay, much better. So this refers to the instance of the class. Example of this is the current instance is the game scene. So this dot load. So this game scene dot load. Okay. Finish scene. Object-oriented programming. Yes, reusing the code. Load properly instance of phaser loader plugin. Makes sense. So this is from IntelliSense. This dot load. It'll tell us everything. And we give it the key background. Makes sense. Let's create the background. So under the create function here, this dot add dot image. So 240 by 320, and then the key is background. So I want to notice something here. 240 and 320. If you remember what we did for the window, we did 480 and 640. So these, notice these are half of it. If you did the getting started tutorial on phaser.io or on the Ourcade blog where we used modern JavaScript with it, you may remember that the images, when you're doing the positioning, position to the center of the image. So now that makes sense to why we're having everything to make sure that the image is centered on the canvas. When we save this, this should technically, I think this is the last thing we need to do. Boom, blue background, exactly what we wanted. So everything is loaded up as expected within the canvas and it's perfectly centered. Okay, so then the next step is creating platforms, but that is going to be in part 3 because this is the end of part 2. It's great. We've done a lot of stuff in this chapter. Or this part, we added in the background, we did preloading, we set up a game scene, we added it to a file. A lot of things have happened here. We also did the assets, of course. Now, if you have any questions or run into any problems, please feel free to tweet us at OurcadeHQ or leave some comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. This is part 2 of our part 10 series. And as we upload and release the next part, you're going to want to get notified of it so that you can follow along and keep progressing in your development of the eBook Infinite Jumper series. Thanks a lot for watching. Catch you in the next video.